Hello, welcome to this video. This is a Canon EOS 5D Classic, the oldest version of the 5D, and the most common problems with these cameras is mirror falling off. This video is supposed to be a full guide for amateurs like myself, trying to repair their 5Ds and fixing these missing mirror issues. You can see the mirror is indeed missing. It is done with a collection of pieces of information from the internet, and well, let's dive straight into it. As you can see, this is the bracket around the mirror. I have tried fixing it already, and in fact you can see I will just take a little piece of plastic to point at things. As you can see here inside this, as you can see, there are some little pieces of glue up here. These white parts, these are not of the original camera. This is something I tried doing earlier by positioning a little piece of glass. And what is most important is that there are 4 points here. One is here, as you can see. One is here, as you can see. And two of them are up here at the top of the camera. So one is here and one is there. And in these 4 points, you're supposed to have glue for your mirror. So 4 points where glue is placed. Now the next thing to notice is that there are 3 points here. One is here. You can see it. It is a little bit elevated. Second one is here, still a little bit elevated, and third one is here in the middle, still a little bit elevated. I have found no official information on this, but as far as I can tell, these 3 points are a reference for the position of the mirror. The reason being, they are, as I said, elevated. They are 3, and in fact you need 3 points to uniquely define a plane. And the third reason being the fact that in videos showing this mirror from other people, you can see that the mirror is positioned here on this bracket with a little sheet of material in between, and that little sheet of material has some space here, exactly as not to affect the level of this. This sheet also has some place here to allow the glue to do its job, sticking the mirror to the bracket. But as I said, it has no coverage here, so I'm quite sure this is a reference. These 3 points are a reference. I have purchased this mirror off eBay, and I was very lucky to find it, but it should be a mirror for the 5D. I have already opened the package once, and the size is perfect. It fits perfectly in the camera, and I will show it to you right now. Here is the box, and this is the little plastic bracket, not bracket, sorry, plastic sheet that is supposed to be placed on the bracket in between the mirror and the bracket itself. As you can see, it is made of a very thin material which looks like plastic, and of course it is supposed not to deteriorate. And I will place it here on this piece of paper just to have it ready when needed. Now here is the mirror. It has been packaged quite carefully, and yeah, let's open it so I can show it to you. Of course, I am not going to be touching it with my bare hands. I'm just touching it so sort of not carefully, because I know how it is packaged and I know that I'm not gonna end up touching it. But basically you can see there is this very, very thin paper which is wrapping it, and I'm opening it here. Here it is. So here is the mirror basically. So now let's take these tweezers and show the mirror itself. Here it is. Here it is. Unfortunately, when the first time I put some duct tape around the tip of the tweezers so that I could take the mirror and position it inside the camera body without scratching it, but a little bit of glue from the tape was left here on the mirror. I will probably clean it with 99% isopropyl alcohol. I will try at least, and hopefully this won't damage the mirror. But online, people say that ideally, if you can also choose not to clean your mirror at all because it does not affect image quality, of course. But I will try doing it anyway. I think, yeah, I think it's going to be the very least a nice experiment. Here you can see a little spot of paint. I think this is not supposed to be here normally, but I couldn't see the mirror before buying it. I bought it online. Yeah, and here it is. Now, this paper here is extremely thin, and I'm telling you this because I will wrap this mirror around one single piece of this paper, and I will measure it and write down the measures. That's, I think, very important because on the internet I found no place where I could actually read the specific dimensions of this mirror. And while when it comes to length and width, you can probably deduce it from the bracket, its thickness is something you just don't know. You have no way to figure it out if you're just missing your mirror. You buy a camera without a mirror, maybe at a very low price, but we have no way of understanding how thick it should be. And yeah, so I will do it, and I will start, and I will show you. So here is my mirror. It has been wrapped very carefully in this paper. As I said, the thickness of the paper should not affect my measurement too much, and I will measure it. I will use a corner just to make sure I'm not really damaging anything, right? Okay, and so this should be my measurement. Now, as you can see, it is a bit thicker than 1 millimeter. It looks like it is a bit more than 1.2, and yeah, I'll show it to you like that. It is a little, okay, just a second so you can see it. It is a little bit more than 1.2, and that a little bit more is definitely due to the paper, and I would say the thickness of the Canon EOS 5D mirror is 1.2 millimeters. All right, so here it is, and I will measure the other two in the other two directions, width and length of the mirror, and I will give you the measures, but I will not film that part. I will just give you the result. This is the measure of its length. It is a little bit more than 34.2, and considering the paper, I would say it is precisely 34.2. And this is the width. It looks like it is exactly 28 millimeters. So I think overall we can say the size of the mirror is 34.2 times 28 times 1.2 millimeters basically. So each of these sizes is in millimeters. And the last thing I want to point out about the mirror is that I cannot see a difference in how much light is reflected in the two sides of the mirror. So I think they are very similar. Just let me prepare it like that so it's better. I think they reflect just as much basically, and I think it is coated in the same way on both sides. I have an additional reason to believe this. The additional reason is I have no indication of what side should be up and should be down, and this is a very careful packaging. It also includes the little mask. It includes everything, and there is zero indication of what side should be up and should be down. So I think they are equivalent. They are coated in the exact same way on both sides. The EOS 5D mirrors, I think they are coated in the exact same way on both sides, and therefore I will, when I am gluing my mirror to the camera body, I will probably use the part with the little dot paint as the part where I put the glue. That way I don't see a little dot in my viewfinder. The little dot of paint will be on the back side, and this will be the front side of my mirror. All right, now let's discuss the next topic, and it is what glue should we use. There are many different suggestions on the internet, and I will write in the description of the video a collection of all of the glues which I have seen recommended in a bit of a serious way on the internet. One thing that is kind of debated, but not even that much, is the possibility of using super glue to glue the mirror. Some people say they do it, and that it has been successful. Other people say that due to the vapors it releases, they consider it a bad idea because it may damage your sensor. I will not use super glue. I have purchased T8000 glue, which is used for phones, for smartphones. It is a bit of a gummy glue. It is flexible. Some people consider it a little bit better than epoxy resin for gluing the mirror, because epoxy resin becomes very hard and easy to break once it completely dries out, and this mirror is going to go up and down very quickly. So I don't really want to risk breaking the epoxy resin with this quick movement. Something which is more rubber-like, like the T8000 glue, should do a better job. Oh yes, one last thing I wanted to show you, since this is supposed, as I said, to be a full guide. This little mask is made of a material that looks like plastic, and it is very thin, but not like the thinnest. It's around a tenth of a millimeter thick. I'm not pressing it too much because I don't want to damage it, but it, it is around a tenth of a millimeter. So in case you want to replace it with something else, now you know the thickness. And about the other dimensions, I would like to tell you I would rather not touch it very much, so I won't measure it directly. Also, I'm not sure how to get a very precise measure of this. Maybe like spray painting it, I guess, but and looking at the shape it leaves behind. But again, I think I would be losing some tenths of millimeters. To me, the smartest way to do it looks like knowing that it should be as wide as the mirror, so 34.2 millimeters. Should be this should be 34.2 millimeters. This should be 28 millimeters. Then the edges are rounded a little bit, but I don't think that's crucial. And from this framing of this video, I hope you will be able to determine the other dimensions in case you need to recreate one for your own camera. Okay, so here we are. I will now show you how to glue the mirror to the bracket of the Canon EOS 5D. This is the mirror. I'm taking it out of its package, hopefully for the last time, and this is some isopropyl alcohol that I will use to clean it a little bit. So now I'm getting ready to clean it, and cleaning starts now. Okay. I am using a stick with some cotton wrapped around it, a couple of drops of isopropyl alcohol on its tip, and as you can see, I am removing the little remains of glue that remained when I used a pair of tweezers with some duct tape on them to move it around to avoid scratching it. I'm trying to remove that dot of paint that it has in the corner, but it is on the other side. Okay. Now I'm removing it again, trying again, but yeah, it's on the other side. Obviously on the other side. And yes, let's keep doing it. It is not a very recommended procedure. People say that it is better to just leave the mirror the way it is. And already I'm not exactly loving the results. Of course, I have removed the bigger remains of glue, but yeah, here it looks like I'm mistakenly adding some I don't know, a little layer of something which I'm trying to remove. I will remove it more carefully off camera probably, but yeah, you saw most of the job. This is the process. If there are any damages, I will let you know, but for the moment being, it looks like the coating is exactly the same. Everything looks just perfect. Okay, moving on to the next part, I will use isopropyl alcohol to clean the bracket on which I will glue the mirror. Now, while cleaning the mirror is not strictly necessary, and sometimes it's considered a bad idea, doing this is very important, especially on the areas where you will put some glue. That is because we want the glue to stick to the bracket. We don't want the glue to stick to a layer of grease that will later detach and the mirror will detach with it. So I am cleaning it. I am removing the remains of glue from a previous attempt I made at attaching a mirror I told you about earlier. Now I'm cleaning the areas where the glue will be. As I said, this is the most important part. I'm also drying it out because isopropyl alcohol is a solvent. So if I dissolve some grease, I then also want to remove it. So I first put some isopropyl alcohol on it, and then I dry it with a dry piece of cotton. I will put the lens cap on so that hopefully no dust goes there while I'm doing other things. Okay, so this is the glue. As I said, this is T8000 glue. I will open it just to show you. Okay, here it is. And I will use toothpicks for more careful application, especially in the back of the camera. I really don't want to put too much glue, not even too little. You will see the whole process anyway. Okay, first of all, let's put the mask. Okay, well, I think it's upside down. I flip it, and here it is. All right, so this is the correct position. As you can see, I am positioning it here, but if you see its holes, make sure that the mask does not add any thickness to the 3 reference points that have a little bit of elevation. I told you about them earlier. Okay, positioning it perfectly. Yes, and okay, that's perfect. Now it's time to add the glue. Okay, so here I am preparing the glue. I'm going to show it to you in a couple of seconds. Here I am, and okay, putting some of it on a toothpick just to make sure I'm not putting too much of it. All right, so some glue here, some glue there, bottom right corner, and now some glue on the 2 top corners. A very important thing with this glue is when you apply it, you have to wait 2, 3, up to 5, 6 minutes for it to start drying out a little bit. You don't have to worry about it. It's exactly the way it is recommended. Using it, you can read it on all guides. That's what was written on my little glue tube, and but I mean you can read it online as well. Okay, I don't want too much glue, but neither do I want too little glue because my mirror will just jump out. So I will add some glue, especially in the bottom right corner. It seems to me that there is too little glue. Okay, I'm adding some additional glue. Anyway, as I told you, we have 5-6 minutes. That well, up to 5-6 minutes. I will wait 2 or 3 for it to start drying out a little bit, and then I will have to wait anywhere from 24 to 48 hours to make sure it solidifies correctly. Okay, I will add some glue here because it still seems like a little bit too little to me. Okay, maybe now it's a bit too much, but not it's not a huge problem. Now it is time to take the mirror, align it correctly, and glue it on the bracket. I will first align it to the back of the bracket. I will not just smash it on the bracket in one go. I will first align its top to the back of the bracket, and then I will lower it so that it only has glue on 4 points, 4 correct points. So here we are. Okay, I am going here, aligning it at the bottom, and now lowering it. Lower. Okay, here. Perfect. Now I will apply some pressure, some on the right, some on the left, some on the top. This is the paper it was packaged in. There shouldn't be any issues with it touching the mirror. Although at this point I have also cleaned it with isopropyl alcohol, so I guess this paper is the least of my concerns. Yes, I will apply some pressure for just some seconds, just to make sure we have at least a little time with relatively high pressure, but I'm very careful at not cracking it either, right? Because it's a piece of glass after all. I have prepared a weight with some steel in it to put the weight on the mirror with the paper in between, of course, so that a little pressure is applied to it constantly all the time. Now I will readjust the positioning of the camera because it is on my tripod. It's not, the mirror is not exactly parallel to the ground. The position was very good to work, but it's not very good to position the weight. Okay, so I'm fixing it like that. Perfect. Okay, now it should be roughly parallel to the ground. As you can see, my mirror is unfortunately not very clean. I will use some a glass cleaning cloth afterwards to just remove the remaining dirt. At this point, I think that I have already used isopropyl alcohol. If I have damaged it, I already have, but I don't think I have. Okay, anyway, here is the weight. And yeah, I will leave it like that to rest for 24, 48 hours, something like that. Okay, here it is. Perfect. 24 hours have passed. I will remove the weight. I don't think it's going to be influential anymore. I think it already works, but I will leave it another around 24 hours. Okay, so here I am. Nice, turn it on. It's been 48 hours. Let's check it out. Yep, it works. It's perfect. Let's put a lens on it, and I will go out, take some pictures. Perfect, and show you the results. This is the first picture that I have taken. I think it's good. Its autofocus is working well enough, I would say. I don't think there are any issues due to the mirror. The camera itself was in very good condition when I started working with it, so I mean I have no complaints here. You can see it a little bit zoomed in, even more zoomed in. It works. It's a 20-year-old camera, but it still does a very, very good job. Moving on to another picture, you can see a dragonfly here. Let's zoom a little bit just to show you how little details. The bokeh is very good, of course. The focus is decent, although not perfect. But I don't think this is due to the mirror. I think this is just due to the age of the camera. Its autofocus is not perfect. You can see here, it is even more zoomed in. The focus, again, it is not perfect, but okay, it's working. Here is another picture. In this picture, the autofocus did a better job. But as I said, it's not it's not a matter of the mirror, because otherwise it would have done a bad job here as well, just as it did earlier. The image is a little bit noisy, but it's not a big issue for the type of photography that I do. I don't care about having some super professional results. It's very, very good. So I would call it a successful fix. Right, so if you enjoyed the video, if it was useful for you, you can of course leave a like. I would encourage you to do so. If you want any further videos about the 5D and about photography, I guess, you can subscribe to the channel. And yeah, that's it. Bye.